This episode is presented to you by NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. With NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can watch your favorite teams' out-of-market Sunday games, plus watch up to 4 games at once with Multiview. Don't miss the race to the playoffs. NFL Sunday Ticket is now just $39 when bundled with YouTube TV, where you get even more football. Visit youtube.com/Spotify offer to sign up now. Lowest price on YouTube TV with base plan. Rest of 2023 season. Terms and embargoes apply. No cancellations.
This episode is brought to you by Chevrolet. Now's your chance to support a team with real grit. The Chevy ZR2 family of off-road trucks. The first ever Silverado HD ZR2 joins the all-new Colorado ZR2 and the Silverado ZR2 for a commanding lineup of off-road ready trucks, equipped to take on anything this season throws their way. Visit Chevy.com to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple: products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
All right, we are back at training, Tuesday training with Thad Bell and Cody Bradley, and this week we have Kortne Ford with us. Kortne, you have had a very interesting, long, difficult journey to MLS, but we don't want to talk about any of that.
Fair enough.
We know you get asked about all that all the time. We want to talk about your socks.
Okay. Yep.
The socks were a topic of discussion here. One of those first games you played, I didn't even notice it, but Thad was just blown away by what was going on with these socks.
Well, I'm a photographer, so I see the images, and you're like right in front of me.
Right.
And I'm like, what's going on there?
I had a friend who I don't know. Online people are always complaining of thalassophobia. It's like you scared of holes, a bunch of small holes clumped together.
Oh, really?
And someone sent me that picture and was like, "Ford's socks are setting off my thalassophobia."
Don't mean to do that. That's for sure.
So the holes in the socks, that's just it's relieving some pressure, right? Is that where this comes from?
Yeah. So early on in my career, I started noticing that I cramped very consistently. You know, I started cramping between the 65th and 70th minute of every single game. And this was at a time that, we were hyper-focused on my hydration, electrolytes, what your intake is, prior to games, day before. And really, we couldn't figure it out. We couldn't figure it out. And so through my knee injury, one of the things, obviously, my knee struggled with, fluid buildup and fluid accumulation. And one of the things they actually figured out is when they tried to put a knee sleeve around it, it got worse. So the compression idea just kind of goes in the opposite effect for me. And at that point, I realized, wow, I think I've been, wrapping my shin guards and, calf sleeves too tight. And obviously the socks are very tight. So once I learned that, I started cutting holes. There was a player that, said that he cut holes in his socks and it really helped. And I tried it, and, I didn't have any calf cramping. So between that and a number of other things that I do, to really prevent the cramping, it's gotten a lot better. So I haven't dealt with it at all this year. I
know uniforms and even socks in general have caused some problems with some leagues and certain players' socks are wanting to wear. Did you get any? No one's ever pushed back at all from cutting holes in them or anything? No,
not yet. I mean, I assume at some point they may, but I could care less. I have to do whatever I have to do to perform right. So
you get a note from the doctor, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Possibly, yes. But yeah, no. I mean, whatever it takes to perform to the best of my ability, I could really care less that it's it really is not appealing to the eye, and I'm aware of that, but it's not meant for, for that purpose. So,
Cody mentioned the fear of holes thing, but the first thought that I had was Charlie Brown Halloween, the ghost costume that he had. It was like holes all over
holes
the place.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Aging yourself there, Thad. Good job.
I know. I'm the old guy. And I own it, man.
At least I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That helps my case.
Yeah. No. If you looked at me blankly, I'd have been like, okay, that was a bad joke. Cody said, you had an interesting journey and all that, and obviously you do. It's amazing. Just going back in my life, I lost my dad when I was like 12, and my mom when I was in my mid-20s.
Sorry to hear that.
And same to you, man. So I'm really empathetic to your story. But the weird thing to me is that you have guys like us sit down and like ask you about it. I mean, I would have had nobody but a couple friends ask me about that sort of thing. Like, how hard is it to
and not with a microphone in your face,
right, and recorded, and maybe going out on a going out in a podcast and stuff like that. But how is it to be that you're getting asked about this stuff all the time, or is it what you want so that you can tell her story more?
Yeah, I mean, some days are more difficult than others, right? But at the end of the day, we were very vocal and out there about her whole experience, her whole journey with cancer. And I feel like it's a way to always continue to honor her and make sure that her legacy continues on, because yes, her story was incredible, especially considering that she was given 3 to 6 months to live on 3 different occasions and lived 6 years past her diagnosis. That's the incredible piece that people see, in the headlines and on paper. But what people don't know is what she did with those 6 years, how much she really gave back to the community and how involved she was. And that's what I think I can continue to kind of make sure that her legacy goes on. So it just depends on the way that you look at it, but I sort of look at it as an opportunity to make sure that her story continues to inspire other people and other families in similar situations.
Again, not knowing your mom, but just knowing people who have been in situations like that and the fight that they have to give to continue to live. And I mean, a lot of times it's for their family so that they can be there longer for them. And, you were still a young guy to, for her to be there. Is that an example for you of how, you fight? Because you fought through these knee injuries and things like that. And
yeah, 100%. I mean, there's no and ifs or buts about it. Like, when somebody can be looked straight in their eye and say, look, you got 3 to 6 months to live, and you decide that they're wrong and that you're going to be the one to beat it. Because that's what I tell everybody, it was her genuine belief that she was going to beat it throughout the whole process, I don't think it really hit my mom until, a week after she was in hospice, that she was dying. That's why she lived so long. She never once believed that, she wasn't going to win that battle. So for me, every journey, every difficult situation that I'm put in, I'm like, well, if she can do that, then, all of this stuff is easy. The knee injury to me it's no big deal. I never even thought twice about it. When you have somebody that close to you fighting for their life every day, no, it's irrelevant, so, which I think is it's big picture. I think that, a lot of people tend to get lost in the sport, and there's really much bigger things that matter, in life. There's family, there's all these, tough situations that people deal with on a daily basis. It's a pleasure to get to, and an honor to get to do what we do. So
when you and your family have been through stuff like that, it does really put everything else in perspective. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna stop complaining about things going on in my life. That's what makes me. I'm kind of a pussy.
A bad loss or two, or not a perfect season. It matters, but it doesn't matter nearly as much.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you try to control what you can control, and you try to enjoy it. Every step of the way. But everybody goes through something different in life. The way that I explain it to people is that you have to have compassion for everybody's situation, right? It could take me losing my mom, but it could take you, like you getting in a serious car accident, and we could be at the same exact place and how it affected us in our lives. So I just think that, everybody just needs to have compassion with what they go through in life and how everybody deals with it differently and find a way to keep moving forward.
Should we talk about some soccer?
Sure. because we always try to come up with a very, very not exact plan to how we do these pods.
I love it.
But one of the things, because I mean, I was obviously never very good as a soccer player, especially, nothing close to you guys, but I was a defender, man. I always loved blocking shots, right?
Right.
And because it was a mentality, right? Other guys wouldn't do that. I just throw my body out there, which is also why I don't walk very well sometimes. My knees hurt and stuff. But when I got to see you play more often here, I saw you play in Colorado, and I probably saw you play with Academy and stuff too. But seeing you play here, man, you are dedicated to blocking shots, making those tackles. Not other people will just try to get a position, and hopefully you throw your body in there. Is it just that different mentality between you and other defenders?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a mentality piece, but I think it's one that's learned. It's more tactical. It's definitely a mindset that I had to learn and take on actually at the University of Denver. Every training session we had, Jamie Franks was pounding it into the defenders. You block every single shot and you block every single cross. There's nothing else around it, and we had drills and sessions and training sessions that literally were tailored just to that, finishing drills, crossing and finishing drills. And if you didn't block a shot, you didn't block a cross, you're getting ripped. So that's kind of where the mindset came from. And then, the adrenaline that comes with every single time you block a shot or you block a cross, that it's addicting, right? It's just like the adrenaline rush that you get from it every single time. And so after kind of learning that at the University of Denver, it's just sort of stuck with me. So I take pride in that.
So someday when you're a coach, you're going to have like block shot day training, like, every Tuesday, block shots, then you can get tacos.
Right. We'll see how old the kids are, but the older they get, yes, that's definitely going to be in there for sure.
Is coaching in your future?
I don't know. I think, I went to the business school at the University of Denver, and I'm very business oriented and kind of like the overlooking, like GM piece of it, general manager. I think that I would like to be one step above coaching, and just sort of dealing with the stats and the politics of things and the managing, and the business side of it. I think I have a bigger focus on that in my future than I do actually coaching itself.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's always interesting the different sides they go into, but I know for Peter that was actually the side he wanted to go into first, and then they kind of backed into coaching. But now he's doing both, right? So
right, yeah. Now he's very good at doing both.
Yeah. Did you have conversations with him before you? I mean, obviously you had conversations with him before you came here, but about your role or the timing and future or any of that kind of stuff.
No, not really. It was very short-winded. I think as a defender himself, he knew what he wanted in a player and a defender mentality-wise, and the way that he describes it is, we had a very short conversation prior to them signing me in the off season, and he asked me a couple questions, and I was very honest. I definitely didn't hold my tongue. I was so passionate about it that I was shaking, on the phone, not because I was nervous or anything, but just because I was very passionate about it. I wanted to prove people wrong. I knew that I haven't missed a beat. I haven't missed a step. I still have all the abilities that I've had my whole life, and to add on to that, just a better mentality. And I think that he could tell in that short phone call, and that was the rest was history. So I was just fortunate that he believed me. He knew my story. He had seen me play, and that was enough for him to be able to trust to get me into this organization.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he loves a guy who's passionate and loves defending. So I mean, that's like right up his alley, right there.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So last week, was that last week? Feels like longer ago. We interviewed Johnny Russell. Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. We interviewed Johnny, and we were talking about cars. And I saw a car out there that used to be my dream car when I was little. A 370Z was like the absolute pinnacle of a car for me. Right. And I saw it out there, and I was like, someone on this team is driving my dream car. And then he told me that you got in an accident, or not. You didn't get in an accident. Someone ran into you at the airport.
Yep. Yeah, no, brutal. That's the joy right there. What I get to kind of, have some fun with outside of soccer. And, I've done a lot of body work to it.
So that traveled with you? You didn't get that since
No,
you've been here?
I had it shipped. I had it shipped from Colorado. But, Yeah, I have fun with it. You know, I put a lot of time and effort into it, and just a small little, and it was really minor, but it's enough that I'm gonna have to, you know, replace the whole bumper and whatnot, and that stuff's expensive when it's all aftermarket parts. So I was very bummed, but you know, just kind of how we were talking about, you know, earlier, is like, listen, like, could have been worse, could have been a real accident, could have, you know, there's way worse things than getting to get rear-ended, you know, so it's just kind of about perspective.
So you said that was like your, you know, fun thing to do. I mean, is that the main thing you like, you know, work on the car, drive, or is there other stuff that like, you know, relaxes Kortne?
Yeah, I usually have a lot of side gigs going on. Have a couple LLCs.
I was gonna say he's got some business hustles. I bet.
Yeah,
it sounds like he's got business.
Definitely a couple business hustles. But you know, to really get to relax. You know, I love to get out on the golf course when I can. That's usually comes at a time when I feel 100% healthy, and that hasn't, you know, been the case. You know, you manage things here and there, so I haven't really got a chance to go play much here in Kansas City, but I really do look forward to getting out on the course. But other than that, you know, video games are always fun with the guys. They're not as fun when you're playing by yourself, but when you're playing with Johnny, Daniel, Kyrie, Cam, you know, when you play together with your teammates, it's a fun, you know, way to socialize and get to kind of take a step away from the pitch. So, but between a couple of those things and some other things like camping, fishing, bowling, you know, I have a lot of niches and hobbies. Yeah, very, very active. I'm not one to go home and sit on the couch and watch TV.
Right.
Yeah, but outdoors, but also video gaming. So it's kind of like, you know,
yeah, but with friends, it's different. Like you said, it's different if you got people with you.
Right.
It's much more enjoyable when you just like slam or beat the heck out of Johnny, right?
Yeah,
or whoever.
He's actually very good. He's very good at Call of Duty Warzone. So we're usually competing for who has a better performance on
Call of
game,
Duty.
so.
Huh? I was assuming FIFA. You were just playing FIFA.
No, you know, the older we got, I think when we were young, you know, academy, even college, it was a lot of FIFA. Of FIFA. I even think a lot of the young guys on the team play FIFA, but.
And we're not even gonna be able to call it FIFA anymore. Did you see that?
I know, I
Oh,
did
man.
see that. That's insane.
It's crazy.
That's insane. That's definitely gonna ruin some memories and future memories.
It'll always.
FIFA's made some bad moves, but that's the biggest. I think.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, that sucks for sure.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, Kortne, and yeah, we'll hopefully talk to you soon, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate it.